Yeah, it's V8 time as we wrap up our Powercruise coverage. V8's a part of Australasian culture, yet there's only ever been one Australian-designed and mass-produced V8 engine, the Holden 308. Our two-part question, when was the last year of production and how many did they make in its 30-year production history? You know what this is, but I'll tell you anyway, NZV8 TV. Brought to you by Smits Group, suppliers of leading automotive brands. Newlon, Maguire's, House of Colour, Spice Hecker, and a whole lot of other stuff to keep your V8 shiny, cool and fast. Not quite standard? Well, neither are NAC Insurance. They understand. nac.co.nz. On the show, we've got Phil Grimmer and his Fast Frog, his 1970 Dodge Challenger. We get all the tips from legendary painter and House of Colour founder, Jon Kosmoski. It's our kind of power struggle with the dyno shootout at Powercruise. A random selection of cool cars and their owners that caught our attention over the weekend at Taupo. And the burnout competition, because we all love a good burnout, don't we, you bogans? This week on NZV8 TV, we continue our coverage from the amazing Powercruise event at Taupo Raceway a couple of weeks ago. Powercruise extols everything that we here at NZV8 TV like to encourage. Getting out in your car, doing a bit of racing, do a few skids, having some fun, but in a controlled and safe environment. There's an old superstition that green is bad luck on race cars, but that doesn't apply when you drive a Mopar. The greener the better. Just ask Phil Grimmer.
It is a 70 Dodge Challenger, runs a 360 in it, 727 trans. It's got 3.5 gears in it, sort of a weekend car. I enjoy the drag racing side of it. I bought it from Cambridge about 8 years ago. The car was exactly the way it is, other than, like I say, the mechanical side of it. I changed it. Other than that, I've just had 8 years of fun in it. Well, it's run a 13.1 at 103 miles an hour, so I'm quite happy with the car on street tyres. I'm quite happy with the small block in it. I definitely buy another 70, definitely like the 70 Challenger. Yep, good shape, I like the look of it. I'm quite happy the way it is, and yeah, love driving it, like to say.
That is a sweet looking car, and as Phil told us 3 times, it makes him a happy man to own it. So if you're lacking something in your life, buy a Mopar. Smits Group has car care products for you. The Ultimate Maguire's Pack and the Newlon Extreme Performance Range. To win these great products, just go to v8.co.nz and hit Win Stuff. The name House of Colour is synonymous with the very best in custom car paint jobs. And recently, Smits Group brought House of Colour founder Jon Kosmoski out here to New Zealand to show Kiwi painters how to truly candy your car.
I started looking into what makes paint, and people still think it's kind of unusual that I started making my own products, but you know, if you have a desire for anything and you find a need and you can fill it. And I started using pure organic pigments. I was the first company to ever do that. I can stand in front of 30, 40, 50, 100 people and do a job like this and know that everything's going to work. I mean, I designed the products. I put them together chemically. I know how they work. I know that our catalyst far exceeds any other company's catalyst. We need thorough cure. I mean, this was just painted, what, an hour ago? Like the new Ford Mustang with the candy red, they paint it orange first, and then the red is shot over it. That's how they get that look, by using a contrasting base. Well, custom painters have been doing that since the 50s, you know? What we call the candy apple roll. Look at this. You've got a metal that starts here and it curves under, and then it curves over and goes down and flares out. So every time the sheet metal makes a turn, it highlights in the sun and gives the illusion of depth. Looks like you can stick your hand down in the paint job. If you use the good primer and you follow our system, you can do a job easily that's going to go 10, 15, 20 years. Well, I'm passionate about the cars. I love working on them, and I love painting them, and I love doing things and doing it right, whether it be painting a car like this and showing others how the techniques are and how to do it. I mean, I want to share what I know. I don't want to take it with me. Painter and a body man, the work sit right here in front of God and everybody, and you get a chance to enjoy it and see it and then feel good about it, and you can't help but love that.
Yes, cool cars need a cool paint job, and the owner of this Kiwi Camaro can now lay claim to bragging rights with a candy apple red job sprayed by the master himself. Powercruise, you know what it's about? Let's get into it.
We're at the Powercruise here to have a bit of fun and see what we can do. It's a 1956 Chev. It's got a 538 cubic inch big block Chev, twin turbocharged. Makes around it made 1,237 horsepower on the dyno here yesterday. It's street legal, it's street registered, it's certified, so it is legal to be driven on the street, even though I, to be honest, don't drive it a hell of a lot on the street, but it is legal. Yeah, it's run 837. Hopefully this year it'll be a 7-second street car. Yeah, we're going to do the NZV8. We're not going to travel this year simply due to time, but we'll be at Mary for all the meetings there, possibly some more here at Taupo. Yeah, and hope to run a 7 this year. That's what we're trying for. It's not as brutal as a supercharged engine. It used to be supercharged. The turbos roll the power in more gradually, but once spooled up and the boost comes in, then she's all on. She takes off. So yeah, I think it's a brilliant event. You know, you've got cars of all sorts here. You've got Japanese and these type of cars, and everyone can get out there, have a good time, no matter what type of car it is. Get out there and skid it up, and I think it's a good event. We'll be back next year for sure.
And the one event that Reece really came to win was the dyno shootout, to see who's got the biggest, most horsepower.
Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. 1,239 horsepower.
But could he outperform Powercruise organiser and Power Skid champion, Gut? Would Reece's 1,239 horsepower be enough to beat a car capable of doing this? Like all things to do with Powercruise, the dyno shootout is simple. Take your big horsepower car, strap it onto a fancy machine called a dyno, which measures the horsepower at the rear wheels, and see who's got the most. Only 1,100 horsepower. Shame, bro.
1-0. He's going to come back to next year. I was going to say tomorrow. He's going to come back next year and try and even up the score.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's got more in the bank. He might take it a bit easy on us, but glad to win something, so it's good.
Congratulations, well done. That is one hell of a street car you've got there, mate. Fantastic to have you along at the Super 2 Auto Powercruise. Big round of applause for your local boy, Reece Fish.
Fish? I think you mean fush.